You don't know you're getting scammed until you get scammed, until it's done.
So how much did you invest into that bad mentor? Total, how much you think?
Oh,
how much
21.
So 21,000.
Around 20. It was at 21 was like the minimum.
What can we do, Jalen, to avoid ourselves from being in a situation like that?
You find someone who's humble, that's willing to break it down to you, that's not talking to you like you're dumb if you don't understand something. Trading is a language. So it's just seeing those things, and me, I having to pray about it. I'm pretty sure there was signs that I could have seen, but I was so young and really like deeply in wanting to be invested and dive into something so quick that I overlooked signs that when I look back at it, I could have prevented that.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Calvin here checking in, man. Forex Beginner Podcast. I got my man Jalen in the building. What's up, Jay? How you feeling, bro?
Hey, man, I'm blessed. I woke up this morning.
Ooh,
I'm good.
Bro, you always remind me of like I feel like you can be a singer. You'll have all the girls going crazy. I feel like you definitely can be an actor, which you are an actor. And I also feel like, bro, I can see you as like a model, like a Gap model or like a swim line model or something like that.
I was a model for Gap.
Really?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I was young. I was probably like 10 or 11. Crazy 8. That was in Miami. So I have like an actual poster board of me, like when we went to the store, and my poster board was up. So I done took a picture with it, and I told them, and they're like, yeah, oh, that's you. They're like, yeah, come to the back. And they gave me a whole poster board of that shot.
That's crazy. Go ahead, man. You've done a little bit of everything, bro.
Some can say.
I love it, man. So we talked a little bit before we got on, and I'm happy you're back because there's a few things I wanted to chat with you about. You are just super transparent. I think you are the perfect person when we talk about what's real in terms of Forex. What can a person really achieve when you come from nothing or you don't have a lot of money to invest? Me, like I was blessed enough where, my media company, when I first started trading, was doing very well. Okay. I was a full-time entrepreneur. I was able to invest thousands of dollars into the mentor. I was willing to make that investment. I didn't necessarily have it all the time, but I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll take that step.
But I was willing to invest. My wife believed in me. She allowed me to do it. You, on the other hand, your journey is like the average person, where it's like you got to get all the free info you can to try to make it do what it do out here in these Forex streets.
Make it work, you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
So bro, like your journey to making over $40,000 with the prop firm, like it's amazing, bro. Like your payouts with the prop firm equals somebody's salary at a quote unquote good job in America. Like, let's keep it real.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
have family members right now that's making $40K a year. Some a little less than that, right? And they've been working at these jobs for years and years. So let's not, overshadow just because it's trading. Let's not overshadow what $40,000 is. And you did that in a matter of what, a couple months?
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was a couple months.
Crazy, bro. So before we jump into like how you learned this stuff for free and what you found to be helpful, share with us like the struggles you were facing financially before you got into Forex.
So I would have to say I was facing it all throughout Forex.
Get into it, bro.
Yeah. So I was facing it all throughout Forex. So this is probably like my 5th year, And when I got introduced to it, I didn't know about prop firms. So I'm trading. People are like, yeah, you could fund up with $10, $50, $100. I didn't have $150. I ain't had that to put in there. So I'm in college, freshman in college. So I'm getting kind of introduced to it, and then I'm starting to realize like, okay, well, I'm seeing this person they're making thousands of dollars. Why can't I? So I kind of surrounded myself with those people who were doing it. And it kind of, I was blowing accounts. I didn't have a strategy. I'm jumping to everything, left and right. And I just like, I'm done. So I quit. I said, I'm done. 2020 came around. Then I had a little bit more money. I'm babysitting my little cousins. I'm making like $250 a week. I'm getting somewhere. Was it a week? Probably about, I'm making like $200 a week.
Yeah.
So then as time went, I was like, okay, well, I can pay for this now. Obviously, $200 a week, when you look in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much, but it's something when you're younger. Then I'm like, all right, so I pay for, I get back, pay for the mentorship again. It was like about like $1 something a month. So my check is getting pretty much sent out right when I get it. And I'm like, you know what, if I'm taking this serious, I'm doing this because I'm not going to be paying money and not taking it serious. So I'll start with $50. then I would start to grow the account. You know, if I make $5, $6, I'm like, yes, I made it. Lose about 10, 15. Like, damn, what just happened? So I'm going through it. I'm seeing what it's like. And I was like that for years. But then I started to understand, like, whatever strategy I was using at the time, or I was trading Bitcoin. That's what really took me to the next level, as in, like, I'm withdrawing hundreds of dollars, $1,000 at a time. And I started to understand that and really just scaled it. So I'm taking a $7 account. The max I did, and I don't suggest anybody doing this. I don't know how I did it, but God. $7, because I had the account was like at 50 or 100. It was at $7. Within like a day and a half, I took it from $7 to 1,000.
Wow!
Like, it was when I say $7, and that's when Bitcoin was in like maybe around like 19,000. So this was like a while ago, and it was just shooting. And me, I'm buy, 0.01, 0.01, 0.10, 0.10, 0.10, 0.10. I'm just buying. I had maybe like 10, 15 entries. And when I say that was like the wake up call, like, wow, like this is my first $1,000 day.
Off a $7 account.
Yes. But to be transparent, I loaded up with $500 2 weeks prior, was up 1,000 and lost it all because of greed. And I kept thinking it was going to keep going. So I don't want to tell you, oh yeah, I turned $7 to 1,000. But also know that I learned my lesson a couple weeks prior, because I was up 1,000, and at the time I never had $1,000 day. But because I thought, oh, it's up 1,000, it's going to keep going, I was going to make more. So that was at that time where I started to see money to make a difference. Then after the $1,000 day, I had a $500 day. Then I started to see returns that were more likely. Then ended up getting into what did I get into? Yeah, then I ended up stop trading, because the group I was with, it was like people were quitting and they weren't really teaching as much, and not like I needed them or anything. But then I started to run into like life problems. So the people who I thought were like, okay, that I can go to all the time, I was still able to go to them, but it wasn't on like the same type of level. Like, they had things going on with their life. So, you know, I don't want to put my burden on you, because I already know, you know, you have to figure things out yourself, as do I. And that's when like the psychology side of trading started to really kick my butt. It's because now those the $1,000 day, the $500 day I had, now I got an apartment to pay for. I got bills to pay for. So now it's like, okay, things aren't lining up as well as they were, because now the residual side wasn't coming in as well. Now I'm trading because I have to, not because I want to. And now it's the psychology just started to change from a want to now a need. And as that started to happen, it started to take a toll, because I didn't really know about trading psychology like that. I was all or nothing. If I'm gonna put $100 in this account, I need to make this thing turn to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I know I'm fine with blowing 100 if I'm gonna make 8. And when it got to the point where that 100, I need that. My rent was only $325. So I'm get to the point like, okay, I have $100 and I'm in college, so I'm paying, like, you know, as you know, life happens. I know how to do it. I've done it before, but that's the other problem that I had, is that I knew I did it before, which was causing me to try so hard to do it again. But when you're forcing trades, you're forcing things like that, it never works out the way you want it to.
Yeah.
So as that's happening, now it's just getting in it. I was just digging myself into a deeper hole. And then I ended up having to really like take a break, because I realized like, this is not like, it's working for me, but you're not supposed to trade that's just not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to trade as an abundance, not in the lack mindset. Then when I took a break from the trading, I started to learn about the mindset of trading, that you shouldn't trade if you need money. Obviously, we all want more. I mean, anybody can take some more money. But if I have bills to pay, I shouldn't put half of my bill money into my account to try to flip it. Because if you're going to flip something, you got to be okay with losing it. And I was not ready to lose anymore.
This is good.
I stopped, and I was like, you know what? let me focus on a strategy. I started listening to podcasts. That's when really I got deep into podcasts. So I'm driving around Tallahassee doing DoorDash. I'm listening to podcasts every single day while I'm doing DoorDash. I stopped listening to music. I was like, I got to get this. If I'm listening to this podcast every day and people are telling me how it took them 6 years, 7, some 10, some 3, 4. If I'm in my 3rd, 4th year, why would I quit? And mind you, I'm like, this is all, I'm doing DoorDash for hours because I'm like, this money got to be made. And I'm like, I'm not finna get no regular job. At least DoorDash, I can work what I want, whatever. I got my quota I need to make each month or each week, and I can do it. And as time went, I was like, okay, well, these people, they sticking with one strategy. If they're with one strategy, and I was paying like 2 something, 3 something a month for 10 strategies, I'm way off of this because clearly something's not lining up. Then my homeboy, who he ended up stopped being with the group, but I'm like, okay, well, he makes money and clearly he's doing something right. Then that's how I got introduced to ICT. He sent in our chat, hey, I got ICT's 2016 monthly mentorship. Here's the login and password. Y'all can have it. I didn't pay no mind to it because why would I? I got 10 different strategies that is easy, supposedly, to me.
And you're paying all of this money for.
Yeah, and I'm paying for it. So then as I stop, I leave the company or whatever, I'm like, all right, I'm done. I realize, okay, well, clearly it works for him. I'm listening to the podcast. I'm hearing ICT, ICT, ICT. And I'm like, never in my life did I think to go on YouTube and look up, just type in ICT or YouTube or Google. And then I'm like, wait a minute. ICT, he put this in a chat somewhere. So I have to go look through the months of messages, find it, and look through the time of it. And I see the login. So I check it out, I log in, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is 12 months worth of stuff. And I'm like, well, clearly if it works for him and he watched it, it's gotta work. I'm hearing all of these people tell me how it works for them. And it works. Like as long as I'm like, all right, well, it's 12 months. This is a lot, but if I got to do it, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's when I said, you know what? I'm not going to trade or fund up again until I know what I'm doing. And from that point, I started at month 1, went all the way to like month 10 or I went to month 11. And when I say it is over hundreds of hours of videos, that was deep. And when I say it kind of messed me up a little bit because it was so much stuff that I didn't even know really where to start because it just had so much. Then I realized it's a YouTube channel. That's the free side that I was talking about. He had a YouTube channel that I didn't think to look up because I'm like, well, it's pay. I got everything. Look at the YouTube channel and I find the 2022 mentorship. It's still a lot of videos, but that was the first steps that brought everything from the 12-month course to bring it together. And it was a lot easier to digest. I didn't have to spend 13 hours watching stuff to not even get a strategy yet. You learn the strategy like right away. And it's a lot of stuff that you go through like to learn it. But that's when I realized like, you telling me I just did all this work, like listening to all this stuff. And I kind of could have just got straight to the point by watching that. And I didn't even finish the whole thing because I got what I needed out of it and it started to make sense. Then I was like, actually, I didn't even say then yet. I'm still like going over it. And my homeboy's like, actually, this is when I broke my pinky, actually. We're playing basketball and I get out the car. Actually, I didn't get out yet. In the car, he's like, yeah, bro, did you ever check out the prop firm stuff, you know? I'm like, yeah, bro, it's cool, whatever. Hey, I brushed him off, basically. Got out, pumped the gas, got back in. And he said, bro, did you check it like for real? And I'm like, and it's like my brother, like very close homeboy. And I'm like, yeah, nah, bro, I ain't check it out for real. Like, I ain't look. And he was like, that same trade that you took, that you just showed me, it was on UJ. I caught like 100 something pips. He was like, that same trade you just took, that was like a 1 to 9, 1 to 10. On a 100K account, you'd have made like $10,000. I said, wait a minute. Hold up.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So then we went through a couple of my other setups. So I'm like on the demo account. So I'm like maybe trading like a 50, like nothing crazy, something that's normal, small account. And he was like, bro, like you should take it serious. So I said, you know what? Bet. Went on Excel. I said, well, if I'm going to do this, I have to make sure that if I'm going to trade, and then that's how I got into the silver bullet strategy. which is on YouTube for free. So now I'm like, okay, if he trades at these specific times, and basically bringing everything down to a variable, like this is this. If I trade at this time every day, this setup, I wait for this exact thing to happen, and I see, when does this happen? When does this get made? And I basically asked myself as many questions, put it on an Excel document. So I was able to go through the week that he said that. I said, you know what? I'm going to sit down today and I'm going to, let's do this. Let's figure this out. Went through the Excel document, found out with my wins and losses, I would have made 14%. I was like, 14%. Are you serious? Even like my win rate was not the best. When I passed my first challenge, it was a 33%. So mind you, I'm not perfect, never going to be. There is no holy grail. There's no 100% thing.
Yeah.
So, and that's what people need to realize is that there's no strategy that is perfect. For me, it's about my risk to reward. And that's when I realized, like, damn, this works. Then I was like, there's no reason for me not to buy the challenge because I just back tested it for the whole week. I had three setups that I would have taken a day, 3 time frames. And out of all of them, I would have made 14%. I bought that challenge that day, maybe that day or that weekend.
How much was it?
Maybe like 250.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about 250, 275. Maybe it was a 50K challenge. And that was the first challenge I passed.
Wow. So first one buying, first one passing.
No.
Okay.
So in a while. So I bought an FTMO one.
Early on.
But early
after
on.
now, finding your rhythm.
Yes.
This is the first one.
Yes. So that's the first one that when I realized the value of prop firms and I took trading serious for real. Bought a 50K. The 50K was the first one I bought and passed it. I made about 7%. So my goal was to make 5 to 10%, and then I'd stop and wait for my payout because it was like 30 days till you get it. So made like that 5 to 10, maybe I was around like 7%. And once that junk got wired to me, and I said, whoa. Like so I just graduated college. My parents like, are you going to get a job? No. I knew that was not an option for me. I didn't want that.
I love this. Hey, so can we I'm loving all this, but I want to like slow down a little bit, just a little bit, because I want to wrap this whole thing up for everybody. So you were learning, investing hundreds of dollars per month, learning all these different strategies. You're in this like educational platform, right? That's obviously not working.
Yeah.
Okay? You're also at the same time, you're experiencing making money by trading with Bitcoin. You put 500 in, take that down to $7, have $7 left. You like catch a good trade, you start scaling in, you end up making $1,000. You've experienced making money and then losing it. So you're trying to be more diligent and lock in those profits. Okay, so boom, you experienced the $1,000 day, but you still have no idea what you did to make that money, right? So it's still just a whole mystery that you're just on the journey figuring out. Correct? Boom. So then a friend of yours who's obviously making money in the market, trading, he's actually trading. He's not, the one saying, hey, sign up for this platform and all that stuff. He's actually making money trading. And then he gives you access to a course that he paid for, right? And then you are consuming these videos because you're like, you're thinking in the back of your mind,
it's expensive.
Like, that. And you're also thinking like, I know this guy personally. He's really making money from trading. So that's kind of your motivation to keep watching all these videos, right? Then you find out that the same guy that's teaching you're watching these videos is just a lot of psychology and a lot of theory, but you're not really getting what do I do when I come to the market. Then you find out that this guy's doing interviews and he has a YouTube channel. You go to the YouTube channel and you see, okay, now he has actual videos that's going into a actual strategy, step by step, what I can actually do to actually get into the market.
Exactly.
So you transfer from the course to now focused on the YouTube channel, but what you were learning in theory from the course kind of helped you understand the practical stuff that was on YouTube, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, boom. So now you're to a point where you feel confident, you're invested now into a prop challenge and you pass it.
Yes.
Now, I just wanted to make sure I'm following the journey. I just want to break it down. Now I want to give you the gas, step on it, and take off again.
Let's go. All right, so I passed the challenge, and I get that direct deposit. I'm like...
How much was it?
It was probably around... It was $2,500.
So how long from when you started the challenge to when you made that first $2,500 from the account?
It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was either like a 5 or 10 day. Actually, I think it was a 5-day trading day minimum.
Okay.
So I passed the challenge within the 5 days of the first one.
So you're talking first month.
Yeah. Like I made like it all happened quick.
Wow.
So
okay, I'm sorry, but I got to break this out.
You good.
So you spent about 275 on this challenge.
Yep.
And within a month, you made 2,500. So we're talking about over $2,000
Yes.
profit off investing 250, 275.
And I got my refund
Oh, you
back.
so you
I got the refund back.
So it's a full
yes.
Full what, like almost 3K you made.
Yeah. Well, it was 2,500 what I got.
Yeah.
But it was 22 and then to add the refund it was around like 25.
Yeah, okay. So everything was 25.
Yeah.
Bro, that's amazing. That's amazing ROI. And that's why, like, I still say it depends on where you are as a trader.
Yep.
But if you're coming in the game, you just got your edge, you got your way of approaching the market, you know it works, you have confidence, prop firms still present a great opportunity for traders to level up that bread.
Absolutely.
So that's amazing. Okay, go ahead, brother. Go ahead and take off, man.
So now I was especially speaking to other friends that I had that were like, that one of them, he's been funded, but he was telling me like, yo, when you have your payout, don't keep trading, because when I had my payout, I kept trading and ended up blowing the account. So I was listening to my homeboy's things and he's giving me the sauce, like the tips and stuff about when you get funded. So I'm like, dog, if you did that mistake, I'm not gonna make that same mistake. So got it, boom. Then what I did is I was like, all right, so how much is 100K? So while I'm waiting for my 50K to come in, so by that time when I graduate, I had some money set aside. So I just didn't know what I was going to do before my homeboy was like, go that route. But I had some money set aside. So while I was waiting for my 2,500 to come in, I was like, okay, well, I know I can spend 500 or like 4 something on this 100K.
Yeah.
If I did that with 100K, I'm like, okay, bought the challenge and boom, I'm doing it. I'm not used to those big of a numbers. That was my problem, is I wasn't used to seeing what it was like to, okay, if I'm down $2,000, oh my gosh, I'm down $2,000, not 2%. So it kind of threw me in a loop, and I ended up closing out a trade one time where I was up 2,000. I would have passed the challenge that day. But because I wasn't used to seeing, I'm like, this is 2,000.
You like, this $2,000. In real life, this $2,000 can go a long way.
Exactly. So I'm like,
and your rent at the time was like 300. Yeah,
I'm good. I'm good. So I'm like, all right, you know what? And this is the challenge phase. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna close it. And I ended up realizing, though, I ended up being in like some drawdown. I honestly want to say I might have failed that challenge. I don't want to say I did because I don't remember, but I closed out. But the biggest lesson on that when I closed it was, don't look at it as money, look at it as a percentage. Because I was so anxious looking at the money, rather I was only up 2%. If I would have stayed in, I would have hit my 8% and passed it. But because of my own fear and not being used to large numbers, I closed it. So after that, I realized, I said, dang. So I ended up going to some drawdown. I don't think I failed it, but I went to some drawdown and I was like, all right, so I can't get lost. Like if I'm down $5,000, that's cool. That's only 5%. I done came back from worse. So I took it serious. And you know what? I might have failed. I'm going to just say I failed because, you know, it happens. Then I bought another one and I said, okay, you know what? This is what I have to do. I can't look at it from money. I have to look at it as a percentage. If I risk 1% and hit a 1 to 8, I pass the challenge.
Just like that.
And I wasn't even risking 1%. I'm risking 0.5%. So my risk to reward is amazing. I'm catching like 1 to 5s, 1 to 8s, 1 to 10s.
So for every 1% you risk, when you have a trade that wins, you're making 5%.
Yes.
8%.
Yep.
Off only risking 1%. That's crazy.
So that's how, but I'm risking 0.5%.
Oh, you're going even less.
Yeah, I was going less.
Wow.
So I could have passed faster if I was risking more, of course, but I had to make sure that I knew what I was doing. Because if I'm consistent with it, I can take 5 losses in a row. Yeah. But my one trade will put me up even double that.
Wow.
So I ended up passing the 100K. And then I ended up making, once I finally got funded, and this was relatively quick. So I'm passing these challenges like might be still waiting on my 2,500 to come in. pass that challenge, I make 10% in one day on the 100K.
That's crazy.
And it was like a 90% payout, 85% payout.
Bro, like how much, and we finna jump around here a little bit because it's so many things I want to pull out of you while I have you here for this limited time, but I want to pull so much out of you. So how much in funded capital do you think you've had over your career in total of all the funded accounts you've had? Like how much in total funding?
Okay, so we'll go 50, started with 50, won 100, so that's 150. I bought 200Ks. I don't know why. I passed them, but never actually like got a payout from them.
So all the ones that you've had passed, like it's your funded account.
Oh yeah, so
and you can qualify for real profits from them.
Okay.
Like how much capital you think?
So 50K, 100K, skipped 200, went to 4. I had two 400Ks.
Sheesh.
Then once that firm was done, 50K in futures. And then a firm I'm with now, a 50K, and then working on 100K.
Sheesh, bro.
So it's probably like 1.57.
Wow. So you were doing pretty good, bro.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And the last time we talked, you were still waiting for some money.
I was waiting
in
for
accounts.
for 400 for a 400K account. And then the firm was like, we're not giving it to you because breached rules and
crazy.
Didn't that was the thing is I didn't even trade. I was just waiting for the account. So at that point, I was like, that's straight. So once I realized I wasn't getting that, that's when I was like, I'm going to try out futures.
Yeah.
And I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah.
Got funded 50K. And then I realized I feel like the risk to me for Forex, it's easier for me to handle.
Yeah.
I know people have their preferences and I support whatever you do, whatever people do. But Forex side, I just seem like I understand a lot better.
And you're more confident.
Yeah, I'll say I'm more confident with it. So that's kind of the route that now I'm back on.
Absolutely. Bro, same thing with me. Like, I still trade futures. I love futures. It's cool. It's safer place to put your money. But ultimately, when I'm trading currencies in the Forex market, bro, it's your first love.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And you feel so confident, and you have to be confident every time you come into the market.
Exactly.
You know, you have to be confident. Now, okay, the next thing I want to go to here is, okay, you got introduced to this free way of trading that made you the bulk of the money you've made trading, correct?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, boom. All the stuff you paid for and like spent your hard-earned money with, you probably didn't even like break even, you know, in terms of making money from that, right?
Yeah, nah.
And then you get this free information, right? I want to get into this here, right? And, you know, beginners are looking. This is the Forex Beginner podcast. I want to have this conversation about where do traders need to look in order to get started, in order to get a real type of education without having to invest a lot of money into it. I think that's important. Now, I'm a believer personally. I believe that the more you invest, as long as the person is ethical, right? I believe that if you invest into somebody that's ethical, that's actually going to give you the real game, right? Because a lot of people will give you a little bit, but they won't give you everything, and they won't be transparent with you. Yeah. But if you find you somebody that's ethical, that will give you everything they have, like they will share the information with you, they will take time to explain it to you, they'll be there to answer your question. I think making that if you have the finances to do it, it's worth it, right?
Absolutely.
I've personally spent money on mentors and I have seen the results because these mentors were ethical, right? And I'm not just talking about in Forex. I'm talking about in other areas, in media specifically, right? I've seen the return. This podcast is a result of me investing in a media mentor, right?
Amen.
And so, boom. But for the people that don't necessarily have that leisure or extra money right now to invest, right? You found something that was free, okay? Talk to me, what was it about this information that made sense for you? Specifically, like get into the details of what specific things made sense to you learning this free information.
So I would have to say mentally it helped knowing somebody who was making money from it. I didn't really, I would talk to him, but the way how his teaching style was is because he knew it very well for a while. He wasn't the best at coming across on teaching it. And I wouldn't even say that, but it's, you know, you can teach something, but then there's a lot of details that go deeper and that you have to learn on your own, or that you don't know to ask the question unless you know. And so for him, it was great because he was a perfect example. Like, if he learned this, he went through it. And as I started to realize that it works, that was the first thing mentally. was that it works.
So having somebody was key.
Yes.
Okay.
Or I don't even say having somebody.
Or knowing somebody.
Yeah, knowing somebody.
That already walked that journey was key for you.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would say that was number one, is kind of knowing somebody that it worked for.
Okay.
Now, the other part was telling yourself that it works. And you don't have to just tell yourself that. When you're looking in, you're doing the research and you're finding out, okay, who is this person that's teaching it? And you're kind of finding out, he would have live streams of him doing it. Like, he used to call out trades on Twitter before they happened.
And this is ICT.
Yeah, on the minute. Like, oh, mark this gap at 9:45. I'm playing basketball right now. I literally stopped playing basketball for a second, go there and mark it. And I see it happen as it happens. So it was just seeing that stuff work over and over and over, which really just led me to realize, like, if I just dive into it and I really focus, it can work. Luckily, thankfully, that was free. Because I didn't have the money to invest even hundreds of dollars into a mentor. Because I don't, to this day, I've invested a lot of money into a mentor out, not just trading.
Yeah.
To get burned.
As me. Right. And you've experienced getting burned by somebody that's not ethical.
Yeah, getting burned.
How much money did you lose by investing in an unethical mentor?
Over 20,000.
And this is outside of trading.
Yeah, this is outside of trading. Like, I'm making money trading.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, all right, I done made money trading. Like, I'm up finally. This is what it's like. Like, I'm living the life I want. Like, I'm have the apartment I want. I can essentially buy what I want. Nothing like too crazy, but I can buy whatever. If I want to go eat at a nice steakhouse, I can eat.
Yeah.
And time goes or whatever, and $20,000 something dollars.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, like, all right, I'm here. I can invest now into other avenues. So I'm not just relying on trading. And then I'm thinking, person's ethical. I done met them probably like the year prior. I'm thinking it's good. And then as time goes, you don't even realize, like, as time goes and the red flags start to pop up, and you think you know the person, like, you think you can trust them, they close, like, they a mentor, like, introducing you to things, like, and then you find out, like, God just unveils everything, it all just unfolds, and you just like, wow, like, and then it made it worse as you look back how much you done spent, because you're thinking, like, I'm gonna get a return on this.
So how much did you invest into that bad mentor?
So at first it was $7,500.
Okay.
But I actually ended up paying an extra $1,000 by accident. But I'm thinking, like, okay, well, this is a mentor. It's going to pay, like, I'm going to know him for a while, like some time. It's going to be a lifelong mentor. So it's not going to be a problem at all. It'll, it's going to bring itself back.
Correct.
Then, so I paid him up front to get, some Airbnb services, whatever. So I was planning on moving to Texas anyways. So I'm like, okay, well, this is perfect. I'm moving to Texas. This is before I even had an apartment where I stayed.
Gotcha.
I'm like, all right, I have this money. I'm gonna move to Texas, have an Airbnb in Texas. This is perfect. Like, I'm like, all this stuff is lining up. Then as time goes, I'm still trading, so I'm still good. Some health problems end up coming up, so I end up not being able to move to Texas. But for me to catch a flight to Texas was never a problem. I was like, this is perfect. Time goes or whatever, I get the apartment, paying for it. I'm paid for the furniture, just a lot of different stuff.
So in total, how much you think?
Oh,
how much
21.
So 21,000.
Around 20. It was at 21 was like the minimum.
Wow. Okay, so over 20 grand.
Yes.
And this is money that's made from you in the market trading, and this is free information that you use to make this money. So now you're investing money with the mentor, and you just made over 40,000 in a couple of months with free information that you didn't have to pay for. Now you're investing 20 grand with a mentor, and you're getting nothing in return.
Yes, that was the worst part.
This is crazy.
I'm like, okay, but I'm not realizing at the time, like, obviously you don't know you're getting scammed until you get scammed, until it's done.
Yeah.
So as time, like, I'm still living life. I'm still good. Like, I'm still paying for my apartment. I'm paying for that apartment. I'm straight. And then it's like, as time goes, life starts to happen. Those unexpected things just start to pop up. And then I'm just like, okay, well, I'm asking questions or whatever, and then things just not adding up. So now I'm like, wait a minute. Then it's like, okay, I get a call like, oh, I know things haven't been going well, so I'm going to send you back, basically make you whole, send you back whatever it is that you paid, So mind you, it's December time. I'm like, it's coming close to Christmas. And I'm like, okay, well, I'd love to buy my family Christmas presents. So really, if ever, I'm made whole and everything, I'm supposed to be getting like 18 racks back. So I'm expecting like, okay. And I'm like, all right, you know what? That's straight. Unexpected phone call. He says that. I'm like, well, look at God. This is perfect. So he's like, give me like 2 weeks, whatever. 2 weeks go by. Oh, he needs more time. Whatever. He's like giving me something. But I'm not thinking anything of it for real because this is someone who I trusted. That's cool. Like, easy way I put it, and people be like, how did you not notice? But just think of someone who you feel like you trust. Yeah. And they just switch. December comes, nothing. January comes, he's giving me the runaround. That's when I'm starting to get a little alarmed, like heated. I'm in Miami filming something. And literally, he actually, January comes, he's like, oh, well, we'll be able to get it to you the end of February. So I'm like, what in the world? And the amount that it was $12,300. It wasn't even nowhere near the amount that it should have been. Mm-hmm. And then he done promised me something else. So I'm just like, okay, mind you, I'm already like 18 deep. Mm-hmm. So now I'm starting to like the trading, the psychology started to change. Because now I'm starting
You need that bread.
I need the money. Because if I'm spending this much, I'm spending over $5,000 a month. I need it. And it wasn't a problem before. So then it's like things are starting to just change in my mind. We're filming and the contract date. So it's a whole contract date comes up. I'm checking my account. I'm like, I have not gotten a wire for anything.
So he then changed it to 12,000 and something.
Yeah, 12,000.
But never sent it.
Yeah, so never sent it. So at that point, I'm like, damn, 12,000. That's a couple thousand that's missing. But I'm like, investments, it's better than nothing.
Man, if I can get something right now.
Exactly, I'm something. Yeah. So that comes or that doesn't come. Mm-hmm. So then I remember I'm like calling his phone because I'm like, dog. And then we done been filming since 2 a.m. So I'm like, something's got to give. Yeah. So I text him, nothing, call twice. Stop blowing up my phone. I'm busy. I have a schedule. My accountant will handle it. And I'm like, what's the hostility? Like, this has never been like this before. Yeah. Then my homeboy was going to Texas. He go to Texas. I'm like, hey, bro, can you just stop by my Airbnb? Like, just check it out. So he was able to stop by. Had the front office telling me stuff that I didn't even know. Yeah, this this dude, he said I put him an eviction notice up there, and he said, oh yeah, I'm just staying for my friend. He'll handle that. Bro, I'm knowing no idea. So the head lady at the front saying this, and I'm just on the phone like, oh my gosh, what's going on? They go to the door, they knock on the door, they try to open it. It's dead bolted. If something's dead bolted, you can't get in. Or someone's in there. So according to his Instagram, he was in Mexico. So I'm like, something's not lining up. Like, I'm on FaceTime while this is happening. Mind you, buddy did not answer the phone. Just hanging. Nothing. So now they call the cops. The cops come. They bang on the door. A girl answers the phone. Or not the phone, the door. So now I'm confused. I'm like, it's supposed to be nobody in here. Like, if anything, it's supposed to be spotless because no one's renting it out, clearly. Or whatever he's supposed to be doing is not happening. Then they take her outside, put her in handcuffs. Then he tries to call me. And I'm like, oh, nah, buddy. You can't call me now. I'm on the phone. I'm seeing all this happen. My homeboy goes in, whatever, and he's showing me around like he was living there. Him and his girl were living there. Like, when I say living there, hookah, shoes, chains, laptop, groceries, trash bags, everything. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I still see it I can see it right now. Yeah. Living there. And when I say it was like one of the worst experience, like I was supposed to go to Miami that day. I didn't even go. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever felt because the fact that I really trusted this person and all my money basically just went down the drain. And by then, when I had a business lawyer who was helping me structure my businesses and stuff. And so he's helping me get stuff situated or whatever. But there's different lawyers for different reasons. Mm-hmm. So he was like getting me in contact with certain lawyers, like kept telling me prices and stuff. And I'm like, bro, the price of these lawyers, like, yeah. At this point in time now, I was like, I'm like, I couldn't even pay that.
Yeah, bro.
And it was just when I say it was like one of those things, like it really just beat me down. Cause no one expects to be betrayed.
Yeah.
Especially when you done spent over 20.
What can we do, Jalen, to avoid ourselves from being in a situation like that? Whether it be in trading, outside of trading, because we live in an information age where people are looking for certain information for what they're trying to do. And when they see a person that's well known in a certain area, or they meet somebody that has good character, or what they think is good character, and they're offered the opportunity to work with them, and they have to invest money to do so, what can we do from that experience that you've learned? For maybe a beginner trader that's maybe looking for a mentor, right? What can we do to, like warning signs? Like, are there any warning signs about investing into a mentor in any area?
So the Bible says it's great. You can tell the tree by its fruit.
Come on.
A bad fruit is going to bear bad tree is going to bear bad fruit.
Absolutely.
And a good tree will bear good fruit. And I'd say one thing to look at is always good is to look at not just them, but what's around them. If they have an Instagram, look on their Instagram. Look in their comment section. If you see no comments and they're claiming to do all this stuff for people, the fruit is going to speak for itself. Then you should see people in their comment section that are promoting what they're saying, not just like, oh yeah, buy this. No, oh, X so and this helped me out. You should see an interaction. And that's the best way how I see it, especially if you find someone on Instagram. You should see an interaction. It doesn't matter if they have 1 million followers, a couple 100,000. The interaction is what's important. Because if you're really helping people, you're going to be able to see the lives of people being blessed.
Yeah.
And what really did it was I met with another guy who essentially was like, I've heard of him before, but I spoke about him when he made $4 million in a day. He brought me to his house, actually it wasn't even his house. He was at his brother's apartment, just a regular apartment. We were literally just sitting on the porch, just talking. We sitting there watching rap, like battle rap. He didn't bring me to no jewelry stores. We didn't drive around in an AMG. He didn't show me nothing flashy. The only thing that we did is we sat outside and we talked. He's probably the wealthiest person I know and one of the most humble people I know. And just talking to him, he was literally just like, this is what a real mentor is.
Wow.
And I've seen the fruit of him. I've seen him help plenty of people. I've traded on on Zoom with him before, I've seen the numbers. When you see the proof, the numbers in the fruit, that helps. That can add on to it. And so just meeting somebody like that, it just showed me the difference. Like the people who got it, they not outside flashing it like they used to. Obviously, you got some people who that's just how they are. But that's not the type of people you really want to be associated with all the time. You don't want to be around someone who's cocky because, at some point in time, it's going to change around. You find someone who's humble, that's willing to break it down to you, that's not talking to you like you're dumb if you don't understand something. Trading is a language. So it's just seeing those things and me, I having to pray about it. I'm pretty sure there was signs that I could have seen, but I was so young and really deeply in wanting to be invested and dive into something so quick that I overlooked signs that when I look back at it, I could have prevented that.
Wow. So stay away from desperation.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And if anything is consistently appealing to your desire for the thing, but not appealing to, okay, give me a demonstration of what it's going to take for me to become the person that gets the thing, right?
Yes.
You want to kind of pay attention to that.
Absolutely.
I also want you to get into, bro, we talked offline and you're actually getting ready to have a career job right now. And you never thought that you would go back to a job after making such great money that you've made in such a short period of time. But as I'm listening to your experience, right? Having a free mentor, making a lot of money, and then actually putting money into a mentor in a different field and losing it, right? Yep. I think for you, you're maturing. And you never want to be in a situation where you're too heavy or reliant upon one income stream that it could cause you to feel like, man, the world is caving in on me. Would that explain why you decided to take this career job?
I would say, I wouldn't even, okay. So I'll say yes to an extent.
Okay.
Because I always understood having multiple streams of income. Though what I'm going to be doing, which I'm not actually going to say, but yeah, what I'm going to be doing involves a lot of traveling.
And that's what you want to do?
Yeah, it involves a lot of traveling, and it's not a 9 to 5.
Oh.
So I'm able to trade. I'm able to travel the world. I'm able to still do everything that I want, and I get to travel. And then I still, I know, like, my bad, I keep going back and forth, but I get to do everything that I want to do, and I'm getting a salary that goes up every year anyways.
So the traveling was just everything for you.
Yes. Yes. Like
the free travel.
I get to I spend a lot of money on flights now as it is. I've probably flown the most for business this year than ever.
Wow.
So the fact I get to knock that off, like I can just go to London and trade London session if I want to, just because I can. Yeah. Without having to worry about paying or anything.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. And then understanding what it's like to use this money to leverage and put that into, not just into other stuff, but really just leverage it. Because if I'm making my salary, I'm pretty sure I can double that. Like, I know I can double that. Now that just gets me deeper into business without having to, for proving income as an entrepreneur. As for them that know, it's harder to get access to certain things because you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Rather, I can say, okay, well, this is my salary right here. Oh, I can go get a car a lot easier now.
Yeah, a house, definitely.
I get a house.
It was hard, bro.
So yeah, that's for me. That's where I'm at.
It was hard for me to get a house.
I couldn't
really
get
hard.
certain things because I didn't have the long enough tax history and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So more so, like I've always said, I never wanted to work a job, but I always said that I would work a job if I'm going to be doing something that I love.
I love that. Now, let me ask you this before we get out of here. ICT, right? For a beginner, what was easy about learning it, and what advice would you give to somebody that don't necessarily have the finances right now to go invest, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars into an actual mentor, but they're looking for some type of information online or some type of resource? What guidance would you give to a beginner to dive into that ICT? Now, I do want to let this know. I have never got into it. Maybe I watch, like 5 minutes of one video. I never understood it. I never got into it. However, anything that's adding value and that's helping, like you, bro, are a perfect example. Like, look how much money you made off free material. Anybody that has proven it to be successful, I want to give you that light. I want to give you that exposure to share with others how they can duplicate that. So what advice would you give to a trader, again, to kind of use ICT to kind of get a leg up in trading?
I would say for me, I started with the 2022 mentorship.
Okay.
I felt like it was, once you know the basics, once you know the basics of Forex, so like understand what a candlestick is, there's trends, understand that. The 2022 mentorship to me is because he teaches the strategy pretty upfront. Like within the first couple episodes, he teaches the strategy. And he makes it very simple and breaks it down very easily. Once I went through the 2022 mentorship, I realized that, okay, my win rate is low and I'm trading at a little bit longer than I really want to. And that's when I went to the Silver Bullet. The Silver Bullet, I feel like, is a great place to start for everybody. It's simple. He teaches the strategy maybe in one video, maybe two, but it's pretty honestly straightforward. And that's what took me from trading from looking at the chart from 9 o'clock to 3 a.m. to 2 hours out of the day, 10 to 11, 1 to 2, 2 to 3 maybe. So a lot shorter time period, because trading is meant to get your time back. We're not here to be in the front of the charts all day. That's not what you're doing. Especially people don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing. And then that way you'll at least get the fundamentals and understand this is the strategy. But what I would say is what you do invest on more so into a mentor who's ethical, who likes to teach. So like when I teach, I give people as you can tell, I give the real, like I'm not going to be scared to tell you the truth. I share with especially the people that I teach. If I'm having a losing period, I don't mind showing you my trading history. Like, okay, I'm in a losing period right now. I maybe lost, like the past 2 days wasn't the best, but today I made X%. So it knocked out all my losses and I made it back. So the mindset, understanding that, because the goal of when you're a mentor, you want people to not lose nowhere near as much money as I have.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal, is what you really want to invest in. Make sure you have the strategy. Watch the videos. They're free. Mm-hmm. I've watched hundreds and hundreds of hours of videos. So why would you not do the same? Find someone who you want to be like, not necessarily like, oh, I want to be them, but like that's successful. And you're like, I like how they are. I like who they are. I know they're ethical. Like they're a real person. And then strive towards that. If they did the work towards that, then do the work. Similar path to what they're doing. But I feel like those videos of 2022 mentorship, and he has a lot of new stuff. I haven't watched it since.
Yeah.
But in the Silver Bullet, those are two great places to start. They're free. And that way it at least gets you the ball rolling.
Come on, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Jalen in the building, bro. I appreciate you so much. Listen, before we jump out of here, give us, like, where can we engage with you, right? Where can we connect with you? If anybody has any questions they want to ask you, let them know where they can reach out to you. But before you do that, I want you to just leave us, bro, if it's anything that you feel on your heart that traders need to know when they're just going after trading, give them just one solid nugget that you truly believe traders need to know from the beginning before they start this journey. And then don't forget your socials, YouTube, whatever, all of that stuff. Make sure you let us know where we can connect with you. But please give us something. What do we need to know? And bro, it could be something that's on your heart or something that you feel like, man, I wish somebody would have told me this. Give it to us, bro.
So I would honestly say it deals with trading, but it goes back to the Airbnb situation I had. When that happened, it was probably like, it felt like I got shot in the chest 30 times. And in trading, you're going to run into situations just like that, where you're going to end up taking a loss or lose an account that was so big or something that you never would have expected would have happened. But when that happens, you don't beat yourself up too long. I have a lot of faith in God. So even though that happened, I know that, and I knew that something good would come out of the situation.
Amen.
And it sucked in the moment, and it really hurt, because money is not everything. You need money to survive. Like, absolutely. If I could be a billionaire, I would be, and I will be.
Amen.
But it's just a tool.
Yeah.
You just want to use money. The root of evil. What was it? The root of evil. No. Money is the root. Yeah. Okay. Money is the root of all. Money is the root of evil.
Yeah.
Not money itself.
Yeah. Money is the root of all evil.
Thank you. That's what it is. The money is. My bad. You said it.
No, you all good. Go ahead, bro.
But money itself is not evil.
Yeah.
Money is a tool.
It's the love of money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you love money, that's where the evil parts. Because now you're gonna people do a lot of things for crazy things for love.
Yeah.
So it's just understanding that things are not always as they are. They're just as you perceive them to be.
Yeah.
If you're in a tough spot right now, it is not always going to be like that.
Yeah.
And there's going to be times in trading where you're up and you're down. But when you're down, it's how fast do you realize it and pick yourself up, because you can control that. It's all mental. So I just hope people understand that when things are not going the best way as they want, it's okay. It happens. Just what do you need to learn from that situation? And trading will teach you more about life than you thought ever.
Come on.
Greed. Oh, it's going to teach you about that. You're not humble. Like, oh, I know the market left, right, and this. Oh, it's going to teach you about that. So it's just look at trading and look at the skills that you have to learn from trading, the details, because God focuses on the details. I realized that the other day when I was listening to something. I didn't realize how detailed that he focuses on. So when you focus on the details of your life, the details of your trading, the small things, that's what separates a winning trader from a loser.
Where can we follow you, bro?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So you can follow me at Jalen Bertrand. It's just my name straight up. Or actually on WAP, you can find me as Your Self-Employed Trader. YouTube, Your Self-Employed Friend. A lot of it is you're self-employed. So, you know what I'm saying? That's you'll be able to find me anywhere.
I love it, man. Thank you so much. And I do want to just add on to what Jalen said. You know, the verse says that for the love of money is the root of all evil. And, you know, I often thought that meant, okay, like if I love making money, like, does that mean I'm evil? No, it doesn't. Like, just think about real love, right? real love, God's love, agape love, right? That's the type of love that it never stops. So for me as a parent, like that's the closest thing that I can just kind of compare to that agape love. Like I would do anything for any one of my children. I have 3 children. I have a newborn. She's my first girl, my last child. And then I have my, then I have my 2 boys. They're 7 and 5, right? I will do anything for them. You know what I mean? I will do at this stage right now, I will do anything for them. Now, when they become adults and they make their own decisions, if they break the law, they got to pay the consequence for that. But right now, in their innocence, I will do anything for them. Like nobody's going to hurt them, right? I will stand up for them. I will be there for them, right? It's very few things that they ask me for. If I have the ability to do it, I will do it for them, right? With that being said, if you think about that type of love and you apply that type of love to money, will you do anything for money?
Yeah.
I will not do anything for money. And that's what God is talking about. When you get to the point where you love money so much, where you'll do anything, you'll kill for it, you'll steal for it, you'll deceive for it. That's when evil comes in. That is what God's talking about in the scripture where he talks about that. So making money, serving people, doing right by people and being able to make money, it's nothing wrong with that, right? Level up, do your thing, but have character, have dignity, be ethical.
Thank
you know what I mean?
Ethical.
Be ethical when you're doing it. Give people, add more value to people, right? In the things you give them, add more value to them than what like they're paying you for, right? A person should feel like, man, I got to get out of here. But listen, a person should feel like this. When a person buys from you, they should feel like they've gotten more from you in value than what they gave you in money. And that's the code that I live by. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, Jalen, appreciate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Forex Beginner Podcast. I look forward to running into you at the bank one day. My voice is going out, but it's all good because Jalen's in the building. I look forward to running into you at the bank one day, but you cannot meet me there. You got to beat me there. When I pull up, you should already be walking out. Duffel bag on your shoulder, big smile on your face. And that's my way of saying I believe we all are going to be successful. Till next time, God bless you. Take care. I'll holler at you later. Peace. Hey, bro. I appreciate you, man.
No problem.
I appreciate you. That was awesome. Man, my voice going out and everything, man.
I'm glad you asked because I always said one day I'm going to tell the story.
Hello traders, I'm Bernd Skopinski from Online Trading Campus, one of the few trading educators who verify trading results with prop firm payments and my FX book. Whether you are a beginner or looking to advance, our unique set and forget method using proprietary indicators means less screen time and more freedom. I'm the all-time record holder at FTMO and I generated over $1 million with prop firms. Feel free to book a call with Online Trading Campus to discuss how we can help you improve your trading skills and learn more about our system. Now, back to Calvin.